Welcome to Soccer. Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the Man United Direction. Today we have a special guest. His name is Ugo. He manages the fan channel Man United in Pigeon, which is global, very big. He is very international. I mean, I follow him. I understand. I love his concept, and I'm honored to have him on our show today. Ugo, welcome to the show, bro.
It's nice being here. It's nice being here, and I'm grateful for being on your platform. Yes.
Thank you. Right, you saw the game on Sunday. I mean, let me figure out that with the three signings United have made, Ronaldo, greatest of all time, Sancho, and Varane. Where do you see United this season?
Okay, so I see United finishing first this season in the league. Yes, then I see them carrying a trophy, but I'm not sure about which other trophy is going to be. But I see them carrying the Premier League title.
So you are expecting to win the Premier League, right?
Yes.
I mean, are you not worried about Chelsea?
That I'm worried about Chelsea, but I know that if we win all our games, then we'll win the league. Or if we focus on ourselves, then we'll win the league, regardless of how Chelsea performs.
I agree. I'm confident, but you know, whereby the back of your mind, you still feel a bit. You know what I mean? So that is my worry, especially with Ole. What's your take on Ole? Are you satisfied with him, or you think?
I feel that he has to improve tactically, because some games with him starting Fred and McTominay, when we clearly have the players that he can field in that team, is very worrying. But knowing that he has gotten out of some tough games this season and he has picked up the whole 3 points. For example, the Wolves game, like that, he won that game and he won the Westham games. So that even if that is by a slight margin, but he still picked up those 3 points. So the thing there is that he needs to find his first team, and he needs to find it fast.
I agree with you. I mean, do you see an improvement from last season or the season before? Is there an improvement?
No, there's no improvement, because right now, that I would be honest, the two players that are the standout players at the moment, I would say, is Cristiano Ronaldo, and him. He's somebody that, regardless of how bad the team plays, just give him a chance and he would score. And Jesse Lingard, before he went out on loan, was actually not doing that bad, but he needed that loan to find himself. So like the reason why that we are doing well at the moment might not be based on Ole, it's based on the players, those two players, Jesse Lingard and Cristiano. That's what I have to say, really.
So you see, Ugo, you and so many United fans believe, and I also believe, Ole is working on mostly individual brilliance of individual players' brilliance. You know, last season Bruno did a lot of individual things, and Rashford, but collectively as a team, do you see them gelling like how Chelsea gel, like whereby teams have a system yet?
Okay, so I see Ole as a manager that he has two faces to him, in the sense that he has this face when he wants to play extremely safe, and so the player tend to build up slow from the back, and that his style would have worked if he had the wing backs that Liverpool has. Trent, because you know that when they reach the wings, they cross the ball.
Exactly.
But you know that Wan-Bissaka cannot cross, so that his slow build-up is flawed, because what then happens is when they use Wan-Bissaka's wing this season, he always plays the ball back to Bruno Fernandes.
You must have been reading my mind, Ugo, because he gets to the byline. Instead of crossing, he cuts the ball backwards. Like, come on, why are you? If you go that far, you must cross the ball.
Yeah, and another thing again, I would say that this season, Luke Shaw's crosses have been poor compared to last season.
Yes, very correct.
So I would love to see what happens when Telles comes back. Maybe that might make Luke Shaw to give those accurate crosses he was giving Cavani last season, because Ronaldo needs those type of crosses.
Exactly. Yes. It's like Ronaldo it looks like Ronaldo's just feeding on scraps, and trying to, because he's one that always creates his own opportunities, makes that extra shift and takes a shot. But the balls coming in, I'm not satisfied with the delivery into the box still, even before Ronaldo came in, now with Ronaldo, because he can head the ball. But United are not utilizing. So I ask you, so why did we buy Sancho?
And okay, like with the Sancho issue, I think that Sancho might come good eventually, but that he just needs time to pick
agree.
up. But another place where I feel the team needs to understand what they are really doing is when they have corner kicks, because we have a lot of tall players that can actually make it happen. And okay, like maybe Southgate is doing something different with Lukshaw and Maguire, that when they go on international duties, like how they set up and they attack the ball during corner kicks, it gives them a better chance of scoring than how United set up when they want to attack the ball. I feel it doesn't really favor the players because they are literally just static and they cross the ball, and it is so easy to mark them. Like box. Like there's no real movement around the box.
There isn't. So you've seen it. A lot of United fans seen it. So you ask yourself, what did they do in training then? I know the club hired a guy called Eric Ramsey for set piece specialist, and so far they haven't really conceded any goals on set pieces, which is an improvement. But the season is still young. We also the disaster of young boys last week, so we're gonna just forget that now and move on to the game on Sunday. What was your take on that game?
I would say that game was a very dicey game, but I would say that to a large extent that I was not happy with the performance. That I thank God for the win, but that was a bad game. Honestly, that was a bad game. And I would say the only things that Oli got right was that he brought in the right players. That maybe Mattis got an assist for Jesse Lingard, but that's about it. Because United didn't really manage that game well, and honestly, I can say that Westham deserved the points in that game from how they played.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, do you think the ref? What would you say about the referee?
Okay, I would say that the referee was bad because Ronaldo should have had a penalty. And I saw a post about where they said the tackle on Ronaldo, one of them should have been a penalty. But we thank God that it was 3 points.
I know, right? And David De Gea coming at the last minute to save because it was going to be 3 points and reduced to 1 point in one instant.
Yeah, but another thing that I would say is that for next year, I feel that United were also lucky because Wan-Bissaka did a reckless challenge before any of those Ronaldo's challenge, and in a different game that may have been a penalty. So
you're very correct, bro. You're very correct. Yeah. So. Yeah. We got the 3 points. As you know, sometimes you don't have to play the pretty football. It's all about grinding the result, get the 3 points, and we move on. Now we're playing Carabao Cup on tomorrow, which obviously I think is going to mix the team up. Who do you think should start and who shouldn't start tomorrow?
In his former conference, he said something about Cavani, that Cavani might be around for that game. So
that's good.
So if Cavani is fit, I would want him to bench Ronaldo, but it depends on whether Ronaldo would want to be benched. Yeah, then I would also want him to start Martial on the left wing. Then maybe he can start Jesse Lingard like in that game. Then who else? Mattis can also start. Then maybe Van der Beek.
Van der Beek. I was coming to that.
Yeah, Van der Beek can also start in that game. But I don't want to see Fred anywhere.
Do you see Lindelof in that game? I see Lindelof in that game.
Yes, I see Lindelof in that game.
I don't see Varane. I think Varane might have to step back in that game. I see Delo starting on the right instead of Wan-Bissaka.
Yes.
But I don't know if is Henderson back from injury or is still injured?
He's still injured, and I would say that if he's back from injury, he might start because De Gea has most likely cemented his starting place in the Premier League.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So I think the debate of Henderson and De Gea, I think that they need to squash that because after this season, because if you remember that save on Sunday, there was one save he made with his leg, which was going in. So, I think that Henderson English media, trying to tell, he needs to go sit down. He's not ready. I mean, let's call it as it is. The guy's a better keeper. Yes, he had some up and down forms a couple of seasons ago. I think he's now focused when he realized his situation is being threatened. So he's now back. So, yeah. So what do you predict for tomorrow's result?
West Ham I would say a 2-0 win by United.
Valencia's coming back. Antonio, the guy for yes, Antonio. He's coming back. He didn't play on Sunday. He'll be back he'll be back on Wednesday, and Lindelof will be there.
He's going to bully Lindelof, but
that's the problem.
Yeah, but I picture a 3-1 win because Antonio would most likely score. But I picture that it might be an easy game for United, regardless of whether, because West Ham too would most likely want to rotate players.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. It wasn't until I was doing a podcast on Thursday. I forgot that West Ham are also in Europe. I completely forgot that they're in Europe. So
yeah.
yeah.
So and they played the same players that played in Europe against us. Then if they now play them again,
Yeah,
in Carabao Cup, I now played them on in the weekend again. It would be bad for like David Moyes man management. So I feel that they would rotate players too as well.
Right. So you've seen United this season. We played Leeds, Wolves, Southampton, West Ham, Newcastle. From the 5 games you've seen from United this season, 3 were before Ronaldo, 2 the last 2 Ronaldo played in the games.
Yeah.
Can you see a pattern? Can you see a different United going forwards? As in, does this United look like they can challenge? As in,
I would say that the best game so far this season is still the Leeds game to an extent because that was the game, and that game happened without Ronaldo again, but that was the best game all round. That and the Newcastle game looked like it was balanced at the point before we took over the game in the second half. After that Luke Shaw's pass to Ronaldo and he scored, but before that goal happened, that everybody was stunned when Newcastle scored. You get that game was a bit shaky to an extent, and there was a save in that game. I think that played a huge role in that game as well. So based on all the games I've seen, I would say the first game against Leeds was that is literally the best game. But we have seen a team that even when they face challenges, that the Ronaldo effect has been able to get them out of those challenges before maybe like another player can now impact the game and make things happen as well. Yeah. Right. So
I saw something you posted on your Instagram page. You talked about the next 6 games. And you said how many points do United get out of the available 18? In my head, I think I said 16. I don't know if I sent the result. I see a draw with Chelsea. I see a draw of Liverpool, even though I want a win. But Liverpool and Chelsea games, I don't. It's very because those teams are literally playing very well. See what I mean? So I'm a bit concerned. Those 6 games you mentioned, what do you see in those games?
It depends on how we approach those games because I know that definitely Ole will want to play Fred and Scott McTominay.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, and based on how they performed in those games last season, I would say to an extent maybe they didn't really do so bad last season in those kind of extremely tough games. But I would like to see what happens because I think I know the formation is going to use the one that Pogba starts on the left, Greenwood on the right, and then he uses Ronaldo up front. But he might not start Greenwood in those games because Mason Greenwood is a great player, but in all those high big games against big opponents, he tends to get bullied sometimes. Yes. And he has not been the kind of player that tends to shine in those kind of games. If like maybe we had Rashford available, I would love to see Rashford and Ronaldo in those kind of games because we know that Rashford is a big game player you get. But Greenwood is a player that if you give him a chance to score, but right now he's not really he is not really a big game player yet you get. So that's what I have to say.
Right. So like you said, depending on the setup, the 6 games, 18 points available. I think the Villa game at Everton, I think we'll get through those. But, when we get to the Liverpool, Chelsea being, I think Chelsea are unbeaten this season. Yes, they've been unbeaten. Liverpool are unbeaten as well, right? Liverpool are unbeaten.
Yeah, unbeaten.
So, though I respect both teams, even though I hate both, hating Liverpool more than any other team in the world. But I got to give them that respect. See what I mean? Because we saw them nearly not qualify for Europe last season and got into Europe, even beating us in the final couple of games. And look at them now, just going through.
Yeah, that's true. That how I see it is, I feel that we can beat both Liverpool and Chelsea, but it
Oh wow,
depends.
I would love to see. I would love to see that.
Yeah, but I feel that to an extent that it might be easier to beat Liverpool than to beat Chelsea, because Chelsea just have their defense is too strong this season. But you know, one thing about Ronaldo is that in that United team, he's like an extra chip, and it is not as if that I'm saying that the United team is average, then he makes it world class. Like, that team has a lot of players that can pick a pass, that can change the team. Then he's now the extra spice. But the only problem now is, I think that the team do not really trust themselves that much, in the sense that the way they play extremely okay. Because if you look at that West Ham game, they were playing extremely slow until West Ham scored. Then when they upped the tempo, they scored back immediately. Then after they scored back, they slowed down the tempo again. So that I think the reason why they play like that is based on the manager. Maybe he has told them they don't really have to rush the game, because there is no reason why maybe a player would want, that a manager would want up tempo and the players will slow down the game.
Exactly. So you think they've been instructed to slow the pace down?
Yes.
A lot of United fans ask, why don't they always start with intensity? Just go there. But it is like they start slow, then till they concede the goal, then all right, let's go and equalize. Back in the day, the United I grew up watching, they don't have time to start slow. They just go out, blaze you, shut you down, game over. But this, I don't know if Ole is sometimes, like you said, not sure of what to do, or let's see how it goes, kind of, and let's freestyle it. And McTominay, or you go back and forth, Fred just try and sit down, and you have to put confidence in the players to realize, listen, this team, we go out there, obliterate them instantly. You know what I mean? Premier League has changed. When Ole played, it was different. He played in a great team, and they just destroyed teams in the first 20 minutes. The game was done. But now, as a manager, I know it's different, and football has changed. Because back in the day, it was 4-4-2. Now it's most teams play 4-3-3 and 4-3-2-1, whatever you want to call it these days. But he still sometimes, like you said, it sometimes just comes down to him not giving the players that opportunity to go and fight and play fast. It's like, okay, let's see the first 20 minutes. Let's, just spar first, instead of just going out and knocking out.
Yeah. So me that how I see it to an extent is that I think that Oli has two patterns. One is the slow pattern, the second is the fast pattern. Now the first pattern, we saw most of it when he was the caretaker boss, because he had nothing to lose. So he just told them, go out guns blazing, let's play the United D anyway. Then when he got the job, he was afraid of losing. So he's afraid to lose games. So he always takes that approach.
Ugo, you have nailed it on with so many United fans. He's scared to lose games, and he's scared for his job. So he sometimes puts a team that would not lose the game, instead of putting a team to win the game. And I think sometimes he does it whereby, I don't want to be too risky. He doesn't take the risk. He doesn't take risk. He plays the Alex Ferguson always took a risk. 5 minutes to go, United losing. He's throwing on 2 strikers instantly, and Ole was always one of those strikers back in the day. So why he's holding them back and being cautious, I don't get it. Like I said, he doesn't want to lose, and he doesn't want to lose his job. Yeah. But that is not the United way, bro.
Yeah, like that's not the United way. But for now, that his unbeaten run has been good so far. So I think that the board, they're happy with what he's doing at the moment. And if he can use his style to win a trophy, then I feel that people will just put his boring style behind them. But one thing that people would love to see this season is what happens when he reaches those key moments, when he has to make those intelligent substitutions. Can he make them in those key games, that he can bring on players that will go on and change the game? That he did it just once when the stakes were low against West Ham. But can he do that in the Champions League semi-final? Can he do it in the Champions League?
Can you see him doing it?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because if we reach Champions League final, it's the same players he starts the game with that he might finish the game with, even when all of them
we saw that in the Europa League. No subs till extra time.
Yeah.
And you saw Emirates changing 5 players. Emirates, Ole, that game showed everyone because he was hoping for individual brilliance. If you see something's not working, change the player and bring something in new. He sat there for 112 minutes before he made a sub, and he was bringing on penalty takers. You see what I mean? I'm like, really, bro? But, well, I like your drive. You're saying, hopefully, should United try to win this Carabao Trophy, or, what do you think?
I think that the Carabao Cup is not a cup that is really important, because if Sir Alex was around, I know that Sir Alex in this Carabao Cup, the players that he would start, he would most likely not think he would start them. He will most likely go into the
academy.
Then pick some players, maybe play one or two first team players, the rest academy. Whatever happens, because that's how he approached them sometimes. Then maybe for the FA Cup, that is when he now feels like a decent enough team. But for this Carabao Cup, I see that because Ole has not won a trophy, he might want to start Carabao Cup too. But I feel that it might be a waste using his top key players. But he can give chance to those like Van de Beek, but he should not change his team too much, because there's this thing that happens that most times when he gets to start Van de Beek, he's playing him in a team that they have changed a lot of things, and when he doesn't like it now fall back to he had his chance but he didn't use it when the system that I was playing was
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think Van de Beek has a future at United?
Maybe if Man United get a new manager, yes. Yeah, but when I was so sure that I don't see it happening. I don't see it. I don't see him breaking into the team, because honestly, he's better than Fred in all
100%, mate. 100%.
Yes, but in Ole's mind, Fred is the guy, because Fred is the guy that he would not do what he's supposed to do, so he chases after his
loses the ball half the time, bro.
Yes, and like maybe Ole sees all those aggressive nature in trying to win the ball that he lost as something.
I like what he said. The ball he lost, he now has to go get it back.
Yes.
Who does that? Only Fred.
Yeah, only Fred.
Ah, dear. Oh, I mean, as it stands now, I mean, whereby I just feel he needs a trophy. He needs a trophy, because you're judged on trophies. You're not judged on, we came second, we came third. It's what you have in your cabinet. Look at Man City. They've been winning the Carabao Cup, five in the last 7 years. They've won 5. Even if it's a big trophy to them, but it's a trophy. It still adds to your total end of the season. But we are ending up with no trophies. But I feel, I don't know, they'll have to prioritize what they want, because you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You know that. You put all your eggs in one basket and it goes wrong, then I would say just go for everything you can go for. Just put your.
But you're okay. That I'm like, one thing here, that most managers know that like this Carabao Cup is a trophy, but it's not as important as the rest. That is why if you will notice Klopp, when he sets up his teams in Carabao Cup, he always sets up a small team. You get, because like let's say Man United wins the Premier League title, that's a good season. If they win the Champions League title, even if they don't win the Premier League, that's still a good season. If they win the Carabao Cup and they drop out of group stage in the Champions League and they finish 4th in the Premier League, would that be a good season? No, it would not be a good season. It would be a bad season. So you get. So that's just how I see the Carabao Cup. Yeah, and for most teams, that a team that does well in the FA Cup tends to do well in the league too, and they tend to do well in other places. So
I grew up, back in the day, growing up, the FA Cup used to be the most serious trophy than the league. Believe you, people don't even know that FA Cup was the #1 trophy in England back in the day. But football and money has changed things. That Premier League is the all in all. But we haven't won it since Alex Ferguson retired. So I think we need to, like you said, and I agree. I think this team, quality-wise.
Wait, but the trophy that Van Gaal won, it was the FA Cup.
Yeah, he won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Mourinho got to the final and lost on penalty, to a 1-0 penalty to Hazard in 2018 final. We lost to Chelsea 1-0.
Yeah.
That was Phil Jones bringing this guy down.
Phil Jones. I remember that game.
Oh God, that was terrible. So as it stands, I mean, 5 games, second in the Premier League. Are we second? Second, right? Or we third?
No, third.
Oh, because Chelsea scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
But
so
all
Chelsea
the
and
same points.
Liverpool are on the same points, same goals.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think this season, I think United are trying. They have to keep pace with the front runners because last season, remember, I think the first 4 games we lost 3 of them at home. So this is a better start. I hope we can sustain it. It's a better team. I don't think we've had a good team this good. So much quality. So there's no excuse not to win or challenge.
The weakest link in the team at the moment is the issue with the midfield.
Yeah.
The fact that it has not been sorted out. Yeah. But I think that to an extent, if like Matic can give us what he gave Jose Mourinho at the first half of, I think, his first season at the club, that first half, like if he can produce that form, then I think that Matic and Pogba might be able to cover that role. But for now, like Ole doesn't trust them enough because I think at some point he has trusted them before and it worked for him. That post-lockdown where he trusted Matic and Pogba, then Fernandes was right there. Then I think that was how they even qualified for the Champions League when they cut down the gap on Leicester City.
Yeah.
It was Matic, Pogba, and Fernandes. Then he tried that in the following season, but it did not work.
I think Matic, is a good player. I think his legs are not just they don't carry him as he used to, as in he's getting older. So I think always having to manage him like game per game. But he's the specialized defensive midfielder. That is his specialized position. Fred, to be honest, I don't even know what is Fred's real position because I he's a Brazilian player. I still try to figure out, like, is this guy really Brazilian? Because he does not play. Like, seriously, one guy said he thinks he's from Angola.
True.
It doesn't show. I've seen Brazilian players and I see the flair. I don't see anything of Fred. I saw him in the Copa America. He was terrible, especially in the final against Argentina. He was terrible, but Ole I don't know what Ole sees in this guy. I don't know what Ole sees in this guy. Honestly, I think he's just taking a space. But to me, and I talked to some of the guys, McTominay and Fred, another manager, they'll just be squad players. They won't make the regular level. No way.
That's the biggest problem with McTominay is that when he plays with Pogba, he tends to go more forward than Pogba. So Pogba tends to sit. So that's why I don't like him and Pogba playing together in that position because he tends to forget that that it would be better if Paul is the one that goes front.
Yeah, because McTominay doesn't pick the passes. I mean, his passes are mostly sideways. He's not that player who would thread that pass for you. He's not that guy who's going to pick a striker out of a crowd. He's not that player.
Yeah, he's not that player.
So we would just have to wait and see. But I'm eager to see tomorrow's game. It'd probably be a mixed lineup, like you said. Just some, I hope. But I think they'll still put a team out good enough to beat West Ham. Yes, can United come out that group stage of the Champions League?
That I would say that the points are still there for the taking. Like they just lost 1 game, yes, but that's last season they won their first 2 games and they still ended up not qualifying. So if they can lose their first game and they end up
qualifying, so you want to do the reverse?
No, I don't want to do the reverse because if they lose their second game, then
that's trouble, bro. That's trouble because Villarreal at home, United got to get 3 points. There's no other way because last season we only needed was 1 point from 3 games. We couldn't even get that, bro. 1 point, we couldn't get that.
Yeah, because the manager that in the last game, even aside all those other games, in the last game he had the chance to take the game to Leipzig, but he chose to defend. He chose to play a lot of defensive players, and it didn't just make any sense. because everybody was thinking that Pogba was going to start because he got form, but because of his agent, he didn't start. Pogba now came on from the bench and impacted the game, and that let's just put the last season behind us. And
no, I tell you, it was tragic because I still see RB Leipzig, the first 2 goals down Wan-Bissaka's side, and this guy shooting, and Wan-Bissaka's not even closing the guy down. He's just like giving the guy smart. It's like, come on, bro. 5 minutes, we were 2 down. Like, but I hope they've learned mentally. I hope they really have learned, because Ronaldo did not come here to come going out of group stage. That is not his plan. He's planning to win the Champions League. So I think we should get nothing less than quarterfinals. Nothing less.
That, and I would even say that if they can reach the quarterfinal, then and maybe by then Rashford is back, with Rashford, Greenwood, and Ronaldo, there's a high chance that we can do well in the Champions League.
I agree. I hope so. So yes, I mean, United have opportunities. I mean, the season's a long season. We all know it's a long season. You don't win the season. You don't win titles in November or October. It's a long way to go. But it's all about how United figured the way through it. You got to win your home games, and we drew too many games last season away. Too many draws.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel that the games that they drew last season, because of the Ronaldo impact, he might be able to pick like 1 or 2 goals, because I said it when we sold Lukaku, that those goals, those scrappy goals that he was scoring was something that we needed a player to come in and be able to like replicate those goals. So now we have a Ronaldo that he's scoring the kind of goals that Greenwood cannot give us. Now Greenwood will score the kind of goals he can give us. Now he gets and then like we have Fernandes that when he's ready he will deliver. But we should not count on Fernandes in all those big games. So when he doesn't step up in the big games, we know that there are other people that can still deliver. And we also have a Lingard that is most likely on the bench, that he's most likely the go-to guy now.
He seems to have come off the bench guy.
Yes. So I would say they're in a better position this season. And obviously when Cavani comes back, then we would have 2 go-to guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you notice?
We'll be dependent on the managers. Yeah, because the manager might not know how he's going to twist his team. Maybe he's going to move. Maybe if he's trying to chase a game and Cavani and Lingard on the bench, maybe he pushes Ronaldo to the left wing, brings in Cavani so that he can have 2 strikers in. Then maybe he removes Greenwood from the right and puts in Lingard as well. Like nobody knows, but it's dependent. Yeah, like that. It's the manager that will decide.
Yeah. You see, the attacking threat is we got a lot of attacking options, don't we? You go through that list: Ronaldo, Cavani, Rashford, Martial, Mason, Sancho. We have a lot of attacking, Bruno, a lot of attacking options. So I don't see where we can't score goals. We should be. The game against Young Boys, I don't know what he was doing, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that was
Young Boys. It's Young Boys. It's not Bayern Munich. You should be, but they should learn. They should learn. But overall, I think United should get to the quarterfinals of Champions League. Anything less than quarterfinals will be a disaster. They need to get into the quarterfinal at least, not just come out of the group and get knocked out in the next stage. They need to get to at least quarters and really challenge for this Premier League title. And trophies are required. Ole has no excuses this time. There is absolutely no excuse not to deliver. So he can't hide. There's nowhere to hide. But Ugo, it's been an absolute pleasure. Hope we could still collaborate again. Anytime you need me to come on, you got my details. You know where to contact me, bro. So you guys have been watching Man United. We've been talking with Ugo, who's the host of Man United in Pidgin, and we talked about the games yesterday, coming up tomorrow. He predicted a 3-1 victory for tomorrow's game, and we talked about the lineups. We talked about the game on Sunday, which United got 3 points, and we talked about the future for United. But it's been an absolute pleasure. So if you're watching us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ugo, we could find you on. Tell the viewers where we could find you on.
On Man United in Pidgin, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. at MANUTDINPIDGIN, Man United in Pigeon.
Right. If you want him to die, if you want him to translate it for you, he will. But he's a man of many talents. So if you don't understand Pigeon, you will learn it. He could teach you. He could give you a tutorial class on it, and you'll be just fine. Man United is a global language, so we all understand it. And I might sometimes say, I'll start saying, how you there, come. I go tell you. I will start telling you that too. So it's all good. But it's been an absolute pleasure, Ugo, today. So guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Ugo can be found on all the social platforms. Follow him on Twitter and follow him on Instagram. I follow him a lot on Instagram, and he has a big following. So join his community. Ugo, been an absolute pleasure. I shall see you soon, and be in touch, brother. Take care. From us, it's goodbye and good night. See you soon, brother.
Stay safe. Stay
Take
safe.
care.